it is. It's such a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Are you having a good day overall so far?
Yeah, I'm leaving for tour tomorrow with Creator. So my day consisting of packing up my bags and
Mm.
trying to not to forget anything. And you would think that after 20 years I would know how to do it, but still not. So it's still like, oh my God, I forgot this and that. And
How do you get things in order? Is it just control chaos until you get out, till you get on the actual tour?
yeah, I mean, yeah, more or less. Like you always realize that you forgot something. Just like, oh shit, I forgot that game for like I've decided to take my Switch this time around. Because last time I took it, I didn't use it at all. So now I'm
Mm.
taking my Switch. Probably won't be using it, but why not? And I mean, it's a short run. I'll be back on the 28th, but it's the summer is usually going out for, the weekend and then coming back. So this is a little bit longer, which is like,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, nevertheless, that's not my favorite part of touring, packing or unpacking. Yeah.
I hope it goes smoothly, and it's not too chaotic in the end. Because of course we are drawing ever closer as well to the release of In Devastation, your brand new record. And I want to ask about your mindset, specifically where your head is at with it right now. Are you still enjoying the build, or are you at that stage where you just really want to get it out now?
With Sinsaenum, I mean, it's been a love and hate relationship with this one because
Hmm.
since I started the doing interviews. So the album is dedicated to my father, to Joey, and to our light guy, Fred. And because we thought, it just like it made total sense. And like, but the fact that I'm doing all these interviews is just like bringing back those memories. And every interviews have to talk about them. I started this time, but usually like people bring it up.
Yeah.
And it's been very, now it's fine. But like the first few days, I was just like, this is very, very painful. And I wish, like, I just wish the album was out and then I
Mm.
don't have to talk about it again. Because it's really painful to just like rehash the same memories. Like one should not, uh, something I've learned the last few years. It's not like I'm not trying to avoid the memories. I think it's just like when they come back to come back to you, you need to embrace, forced to embrace. But yeah, but this is just like constant reminding, like all day long, like doing interviews and talking about it. It can be painful sometimes. So in that aspect, I wish the album was already out, so that way I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's always bittersweet. You've been working for so long, and this one we've been working a long, long time. And then once the album is out, it's not yours anymore. And now, it's still. I haven't read any reviews of the album yet. I haven't really looked on the internet. I'm trying not to because it's just
Mm.
like, it's always painful. And like the older I get, the more I'm just like, fuck, I should not, read anything. Fuck it. So yeah, I enjoy doing interviews more than when it started. And it's cool to have the songs out. And yeah, so I enjoy it and I don't enjoy it, to answer your question.
I completely understand. I do understand. It's an inevitability, of course, with a record that's this personal to you, that those conversations are gonna come up. We are less than a month away from its release, of course. August 8th, we should say, is the specific date it comes out. And
Yes.
obviously, the long and winding road, it's all about promotion and just getting people's eyes and ears on the record, whether it be the release of the singles, which have gone down very, very well, and all of that, what that entails. This promotion period. Is there something that you've been really enjoying doing this time around that perhaps you hadn't done before?
Not really, no.
There we
No.
go.
No, 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 no. I'm like the you talk about like the promotion itself, like
Mm.
specifically. No, well, again, to come back to that, the fact that indeed I'm getting more and more used to talk about that specific topic. It's been kind of therapeutic. So in a way, it started like being painful, and it turns out like now I can joke about it. Like the first interviews, I was like pretty like, I don't know what to say, and this is sad and blah blah. And now I'm back to my old habits of cracking jokes and just being sarcastic and whatnot. So I just because in Devastation, really, uh, it's a good definition of my life the
Hmm.
last few years and even still now. So in a way, the fact that I can joke about it a bit more, I guess that's one good side of this promotion. So it's really on the deeper level, I guess, kind of thing. Because doing interviews is always the same. I just like, in fact, when we released the first video, I had to make sure that our Instagram and Facebook, because like we have people helping us, but I'm overseeing everything, and I was just a pain in the ass, and I was in Sweden at the time recording
Hmm.
for the new creator, and I spent the day doing this, like the Sinsaenum release of the song in Devastation, and checking some of the reviews, even though I said I shouldn't, but it's the first day, so you kind of like, checking if it works. And at one point, I felt overwhelmed, and I had to go out in the woods, like take a long walk, to just like, oh my God, this is too much for me. So yeah, so that I did not enjoy.
It's time. Time's a great healer in all things, and obviously, as time goes by, and I guess for you particularly, the record it's already not old. It's the wrong word, but obviously, compared to say how people are hearing it, it's so brand new for us. It's not necessarily for you.
No, it's not. I started writing the songs in 2019, in
Mm,
fact. So it's just a lot of things happen in between. Not
of
only,
course.
yeah, yeah, not only death, but also, the fact that I'm very busy with creator, and there was COVID, and there was, so all of that combined, those songs. I've done demos for them, and then we started recording, and then we stopped, and then went back to it. And then there were times when I was just like, do I like these songs even? Do I actually enjoy them? And then back at it like a few months after, fuck yeah, those songs are amazing. So it's been like this, like my life. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been what, seven years since Repulsion for Humanity came out. And obviously, as you said yourself, so much has happened in between on a worldwide scale, as
Yes.
much as anything else. Can you even remember what your thought process was back when you first sort of started to think about what might be next for Sinsaenum?
Yes, actually, yes. The first album, I wrote the first two albums back to back. Now, the first album, like we had some songs that I wrote in the past, and but
Mhm.
when we got the record deal, and there's like, okay, you need the get the show on the road, if you will. Then I was like, okay, I need to work on these songs and finish everything and finish the interludes. And then we released the album and we couldn't go on tour. So I worked on an EP. So writing the songs for an EP and organizing that, and then writing the songs for a second album. So it was a lot. And these two albums had like a sort of a the first one had like, it was a love letter to the genre. I was making sure that I was gonna do it right because that was my first death metal album. Also, I didn't want people to go like, it's from Dragon Force, you can't play death metal. So that I had that in mind, but also the fact that I love the genre, and I was just like, oh, this is so exciting. It has to be like this and like that, and that's how I want death metal to sound. So
Mm.
there was that. The second one was the result of like not being able to tour, having to release like an EP and then a second album, and also trying to incorporate some more, groove elements to it. And I was pissed off, and the album it's called Repulsion for Humanity for a reason. So
Mm.
so there was like a goal or like something, and then we did a half the world tour, and it went well in some places, and some places it didn't. And then when that was done, I was just like, oh, I'm exhausted with all of that. It's been like a few years, very intense. I'm exhausted. The album, the band is gonna carry on, but
Hmm.
I've got no. It's not ambitions because you always want to make like the best music possible, but I've got no specific goal or try to achieve something. I just want to, I mean, there is one. I mean, like I said, I just want to write the music that I like.
Mm.
I don't need to please anyone, or I don't need to fit in a category, or also, well, with that being said, being doing like I said, half the world tour just because we didn't go on the other side. But
Yeah.
you kind of see what people enjoy when you're on stage, so they like the songs that were like Final Resolve or Army of Chaos, which are a bit
Of
more like
course.
catchy and like straight to the point. So I guess that was in the back of my back of my head when I started to write songs. Um, and also the fact that joining Creator, but also joining Loudblast, which are two extreme
Mhm.
metal bands. Loudblast in the same category, death metal. So I was just like, we have to be different than these two. So you have to, so you have to define a bit more. Like Sinsaenum was a bit more, bit of this, bit of that, whatever. So for this one, I guess it naturally the fact that I was in Loudblast in that like let's say strict traditional death metal Creator and whatnot, it's just like sort of like created a natural path for
Mm.
Sinsaenum somehow. That with the fact that I just wanted to incorporate all the elements that I like. So we were talking with Sean, for example, just like, oh, shall we put some clean vocals? Yeah, why not? We're free to do what we want. So
Mm.
that's all of that makes the album very us, very unique, and free of any sort of chains of or whatever, for lack of better words. So I guess when I started writing those songs, just like I just want to write good music. That's all.
Mm. Sometimes, I mean, a simple vision like that is all that's needed. You want to write good music, you're capable of it. You continue to grow as an artist every single day, week, and month. So yeah, let's just get that good music out there.
That was that. Yes. So like I said, clean vocals. Yeah, why not?
Mm.
Let's put some cello in. Yes, okay. That came down a little, later, but we already had like the middle section of Obsolete and Broken. I already had started working on it, like, and I was doing all those melodies and putting the that sitar, and I was just like, yeah, I don't care if people say it's not death metal, fuck 'em.
Mm.
I don't care. It's still death metal because Sean's main vocals are always going to be like growling and
Yeah.
evil and whatnot. But yeah, let's incorporate. I feel that solo should be a bit more, had some bands, and it sounds like a bit like maybe Dimebag or fucking, I don't know, Megadeth. Let's go for it. So I just everything that I like, I sort of incorporated it in this.
I mean, anyone who doubts the death metal credentials of the album is obviously being very, very silly, of course. But it is exciting as well to hear you experiment, to hear you progress and come try new things. But that comes with some difficulty, right? As comfortable as you can be doing that, you've also got to get to a point where you feel, well, you feel capable of expressing yourself in this more experimental way. Did you have any particular challenges where you thought, okay, this is not something I think I can do, or something that doesn't fit Sinsaenum?
No.
No?
No, 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 because it was more like, it's within ourselves. It's just like something that we like or not. But everything that we push the envelope, and again, I mean, there's no like, it's not Carnival in Cold. It's not like we don't have reggae or
Yeah.
it's still like metal, but with like touches of other stuff. But it all, I think it sounds natural. It doesn't sound forced. It doesn't sound like
Mm.
I'm trying to have that part here just for the sake of it. So it all came naturally, and that I don't think there's a point when we went like, oh no, this is too much. So no, it was very, very natural in that sense.
That's what I love to hear. There's nothing great when you haven't got anything specifically like to point at and say that was really, really hard, that was a nightmare. And it just went really, really well and felt free and natural for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the with that being said, like the process of like the recording itself was a pain in the ass because like I said, I'm away very often with
Mm.
Creator, and I had like, ups and downs, and so there were periods of time where we like start working on the album and then stop and resume and whatnot, and that was a little complicated. Like usually you start an album, say January 1st, and you work on this until April, 20th, and that's it, and then you have your album. But this one has been done like back and forth and back and forth. Even for Lasse, who's been mixing the album, he was sometimes just like, this is okay, this is interesting, there. And then by the time you go back to it, just like, oh, I'm gonna try something different on guitar, and then oh, I forgot we had those layers of like effects and whatnot. So that was a bit chaotic, but again, I don't think you can hear it on the album. It sounds like so he's done a great job at that.
Oh, for sure, no question, an incredible job. But you specifically, your mind, considering the stop-start nature of it, how did you keep your mind in order? Because there's so much going on. Did keeping your senses?
I don't know.
You
I
just
mean, it's just
did.
yeah, I just did. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just because I know I mean, those songs are all the songs that you write. That's they're part of your DNA. You just like they are. It's you. So it's never been a problem to get back to it. It was just like I felt like interrupted, and like I said,
Yeah.
like. The way I felt sometimes just like felt depressed or unmotivated. But when I was going back into it, I'm just like, okay, let's go. It's just like, you've learned how to do chili con carne. You've done it so
Mm.
often that that's a bad example. I don't know where I'm going. I thought I had it, but I lost it. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that I'm good at making chili con carne, I guess. But yeah, no, so no, it hasn't been yeah, when it was time to go back into it, just like, okay, so where was that, but I've had some surprises, just like, oh, that's right, yes, oh, I forgot that was there, because I would sometimes some of the stuff was not going through me. I was just like some Sean, for example, I would ask him to
Mm.
do like, samplers and whatnot. I'm just like send them directly to Lasse. So Lasse would have that, but I forgot that we already sent him like a bunch of those. And then someone else, like Paras, a friend of mine who also did some samplers like sounds and whatnot, would send that, and then Lasse would call me and just like, okay, look, I have like 25 layers of sounds for that. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, let's go through that together. So sometimes I've been a little overwhelmed, but let's say 95% I've managed.
And the end result speaks for itself. All that work, and here we are, which is incredible, particularly considering, of course, we have to talk about it, the where the album draws from, of course, dealing with grief and feelings of loss and surrounding your personal life, and so personal this album is. I have to ask you, how sure were you, though, that you wanted to kind of draw from those feelings of loss?
Well, like I said, the songs were written like a good
Yeah.
portion of those songs were written before any of
Mm.
this happened. So the fact that the album is dedicated to them and we're making that public because it's also a sort of homage, like you want to
Mhm.
mention the fact that this is but the music itself is not about all the lyrics apart from one song. There's one song
Mhm.
that's about it, Life's Goodbye. It's quite obvious, but the rest is not about grief or not about my father or Joey or Fred or so in fact it's a very like I, I think it's a catchy, straight to the point, energetic, technical death metal album, or metal album even. But the fact that we this needed to be mentioned, I guess it
Mm.
gives people maybe perhaps the wrong idea. It defines definitely where I am because I chose the title in Devastation for a reason as well. But the song, for example, the song in Devastation has nothing to do with that. Doesn't talk about my life or about losing people or being sad or whatever. I think it was just like we had that song. I think it was like a very catchy song. I still think it's a very catchy song. It's a
Mhm.
great opener. And I'm just like, okay, it defines us. And cherry on top perfectly defines how I feel, how my life feels right now. And I shouldn't be smiling about it, but fuck yeah. So, so I'm like, so, and then I guess with that, plus the fact that it's dedicated to people that are not no longer with us,
Yeah.
it might give people the wrong idea. But I, with all, what's the word? With respect, and I've been comparing this album to Back in Black, uh,
Mm,
but you know, so Back in Black is Back in Black. All I'm
mhm,
saying is it's an album that's been, it's well, it is what it is. Like they lost their singer. It's it is, but the songs are not sad. The songs are, and I think that's the same aspect, but with humility because we talk about Back in Black.
of
But
course.
you know what I mean. But I think it's just the same. It's the same idea. Like there is a something that's dedicated to the situation, and it just like it gives like a vibe. But when people put Back in Black on, they don't go like, oh, okay, let's listen to some grieving, sad music. And it
Hmm.
shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case with us. But also, if we were not mentioning the fact that this is dedicated to our drummer that we loved and that he passed away, and my father and our lad guy, also that wouldn't be fair.
Of
So
course. Of course, ideally in situations like this, we want moments like this to be celebratory more than anything else. However, that is defined to each individual person, and I have this album feel like a celebration, a tribute, as you say, but a celebration nonetheless, and a great embodiment of who you are today as well. 2025, Sinsaenum, and where you're at now, I think so important. What do you think the album says about like who Sinsaenum are in 2025?
Uh, I I don't know. I mean, it's like it's more for people to say.
Mhm.
You know.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, it's just like this is where I am. It's been. I always love making this music, and it's good to be back. And it's great that we've seen that people did not forget about us. So we're not starting completely from scratch. After 7 years, of doing nothing and just like mentioning, so, like even the socials were just like sometimes like a picture or two or whatever, just like stay tuned.
Mm,
But there was
yeah.
just because just like fuck, I should write something. But I could see the stream on the streaming platforms that there's still people listening to us. And when we release the album, there's like still people, so there's like still a little bit of interest, and that's great,
Yeah.
because I guess nowadays starting from scratch is very difficult. So we have that luxury that the name exists, and in many metal fans, it
Mm,
rings a bell. Just, oh yeah, that's the band. And so I don't know. I mean, musically, I think this is better than before, but it sounds cliche. So I mean, it's really for people to say like, are we current now? Does it make sense? It's for them to define. As far as we are concerned, we're very happy with what we're doing, and I guess that's what matters. That's how the job done.
oh, absolutely. That you coming away, you're pleased, you're satisfied, was more than enough for most. And as you say, let it go out in the world, and then 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the line, we'll understand how people have what people think.
Yeah, exactly.
When you reflect on the entire creative journey of this album, what moments brought you joy?
Um, Joy.
Hmm.
For example, when I received the cello part from Camilla for the song "Last Goodbye," but I had like it was moving, but that's what music does to me. So I was just like, oof, she encaptured what I, the feeling of that
Really?
part. So that was to me that was great when I heard
Mm.
every time there's like a progress, or when on a personal level, I like recording dual guitars. I like recording harmonies, or just like or doing like solos. That's the best part of things. So, the waiting process, the just like the back and forth, that's a pain in the ass. There's a lot of like aspects of recording an album that are actually just annoying and not fun, but you have to go through that. But the little things like when you receive something from someone, basically every time I receive something from someone else, just like the vocals are recorded, or like Attila's been recording his vocals, Sean's been recording the drums, Stéphane, like the cello, the first mixes. Those are like little, moments of joy that you tend to forget when you look back. You go like, yeah, that was a pain in the ass. But it's been also like a lot of a lot of joy. Like the when I received the vinyl, when I saw the artwork for the first time. So all of that, it's been great. So it's been actually a lot of joy.
I'm really glad to hear that. I'm glad you brought up the artwork. It is incredible, incredible.
Yes, thank you for him. That's Travis Smith, who I Joe introduced me to him. So he did the artwork for Repulsion for Humanity.
Hmm.
He also did the artwork for my other band, Amahiro, the Japanese band. And he worked also with Opeth, Death, Nevermore. And I just told him, okay, look, I think it makes sense, to work together again because I wanted to work with people that I like and that I
Yeah.
know that family, vibe. And I said the album's gonna be called In Devastation. I briefly explained my life, and I'm like, do you have anything? And he showed me like a few pieces that he had, and he said like, oh, some of them like Joey actually liked at the time, so he had them like um, and uh, and I saw that one, and I thought this is perfect because this is quite the opposite that what you would expect from a title, like such as In Devastation. You would imagine like something chaotic and whatnot, whereas this is more, self-reflection, introspection, like main character gazing into the sun, and just like, and I thought this is perfect. Also, it had like elements. So we tweaked a few things, but it had already like some elements of Japanese art, which I
Mm.
like. It has like a Japanese vibe to it. And I also mentioned it not so long ago to a friend of mine, Mirai from the band Psy. And we were talking about the album, and I said, "You think also there's some Japanese vibe to it, or is it just me being dumb or crazy?" And he was like, "No, no,
Mm.
I saw that." So I was right. And so yeah, so that I think that's I love the artwork, and I think it's just like it's amazing.
It's fantastic when somebody gets you like that, and stuff like that
Mm.
is just all part of an overall package that ends up having more impact than you hopefully could ever believe. Because you want this record to be successful, whatever that might mean, because success is defined in odd ways these days, and you will likely have your own definition of it. So that's my last question for you. What would success for this record look like for you?
Ah, again, like you said, it has like many different
Mm.
levels. It could be like a lot of people just praising it. Uh, I think the I don't know. I mean, but I could be very humble and say like the fact that it's already out, it's a success. A fact that one person likes it is one
Mm.
step to success. Because one thing with music is you're depending on people's opinion,
Of course.
one, and you tend to forget that a big part is just like you liking it, the people that you care about liking it, because some people are going to be mean, but those people mean nothing to me, but
Hmm.
unfortunately that has as much importance or even more than the people liking it. When someone is saying like this is that's what you remember. And
Yes.
I've been talking with with Miller, with Rob from Machine Head. We all the same when we see like bad reviews, we go like and one should not give too much importance, and so um success would be a decent amount of people enjoying, and remembering, like, and coming to the shows. We're gonna do some shows. That's where you see if people like it or not. I guess that's success. But
Mm.
again, I think as long as it's already a form of success that we achieved such an album, and it's released, and it's for them, the people that are no longer with us, and uh, and I'm personally happy with the album, the artwork and whatnot. So that's already success, I guess.
I love it. I'll take it. It's fantastic. And while it's far, far from me to sort of say what other people might think, I can confirm to anyone that's listening that In Devastation out August 8th is not only the finest Sinsaenum record to date, it is an album of the year contender, in my opinion. Frederic, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.